So this is the end of the month. It's also, we just got done with the full moon because it was yesterday. So that energy is still here. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you always hear me say it's 3 days before, it's 3 days after. This is the you know what I mean, whatever that is. And so we feel it, and we feel the intensity of it. It's so funny. I'm doing this kind of like whole health tracking with myself and trying to see like what's going on with certain things, my heart rate and my blood sugars and the whole thing. And so I've been kind of shadowing it with the moon to see if my theories on that are correct. And it has been for the last like 2 cycles, so the new moon and the full moon. I'm like, man, this really messes with me, like really, really bad. So we just want to be really graceful to ourselves, to other people, give everybody lots of grace. I was driving the other day and everybody's driving like a maniac, and then I was like, oh, and I'm driving like a maniac too. And so it's like, you know, we only recognize what we are doing or something inside of us. So it's just really, really being peaceful and calm with yourself during this time, giving yourself lots of grace. There's also other little planetary things. I'm not a genius on stuff like that. I know people who are geniuses on stuff like that, and I listen to them. And one of the things, like even this weekend is going to be a really intense weekend for energy for everybody. So just take everything in stride. You know what I mean? Like, just this is a good time to be really self-regulating, really aware of your self-regulation tools. How do I breathe? How do I center? How do I dial in? And make sure that you're able to do that for yourself. Whatever self-regulating tools you have, whether it's your breath, maybe you're a tapper, you know what I mean? Maybe you do things like that. Maybe if you are somebody who sees me, and I have assigned an eye patch to you at one point in time, this is a good week to eye patch, okay? So keep your brain balanced. I can hear the people that have seen me laugh because you know. But it works, and so use that this week because the energy is really going to be shifting. So, and which segues us into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is remembering. It's the last week for the remembering meditations. And I've been thinking so much about all the different parts that we've gone through. We've remembered what we were before we came here. We've remembered things that we've you know, had in our life. We've remembered things that are helping us. We've remembered things that we wanted to get rid of. We've kind of run the gamut on all of that. And today I think I would like to just kind of talk about karma a little bit and how we remember the things that show up with karmically, like we're not aware of them at first. And so I call it instant karma. When we can clear up our karma instantly, it's really, really cool. So this goes with a little bit with remembering, but I feel like everybody in this room could probably use this tip. It's a good tip, okay? So we have something happen. So like I was saying about the driving, the other day, it was really interesting. So I went to go drop my bikes off at the bike shop. And the guy was helping me get the bicycles into the shop. And there was 2 cars that went by that didn't wait for us pedestrians. And we both kind of laughed about it and like, oh, I guess the pedestrians don't have rights today. And so we brought our bikes, and I brought our bikes in there. Then by the end of the day, everything in my life had shifted, and now I'm moving at 100 miles per hour or more, if everything. And I'm driving through the Walmart parking lot trying to get over to Staples, and I found myself not wait for one pedestrian. It was like, you're way over there, I'm just gonna keep going. And there were people like giving me really dirty looks, and I just started laughing to myself so hard. Because see, when we recognize when we're a douche, that's when we have an opportunity to clear up our karma, okay? You just gotta recognize when you're a douche. Like, it's like, oh, that's so funny. I was mad that somebody was doing that, but I do that. I do that. Now I can be aware of this, and I can sit with this, and I can make a change. I don't have to continue to judge others I don't need to continue to get annoyed by somebody else because I can see my own fallacies in those things. My stepson Kay's, this was over Christmas time, we were walking in downtown Mesa and something happened. There was a guy that he like kind of bumped into a little bit and the guy was like very indignant towards him. And then Kay's was kind of irritated about that and complaining about it. Then as we were walking, Kay's did the identical thing to somebody else. And then the whole thing like cascaded and then I could see, I was like, this is your opportunity to clear this karma. What happens if we don't clear karma? So let's talk about that. This is why I'm bringing this up. When we don't clear up karma, it just continues to follow us. It will continue to follow us. It's like I could see it earlier today working with somebody. It's like a Mexican jumping bean that goes from this plate to this plate to this plate. So it's going to follow you from situation to situation to lifetime, if you believe in that. So it's important that we recognize when those things happen, there's an opportunity, and it usually comes back at us in the mirror of whatever we were judging, in the mirror of whatever it is that we were kind of like irritated about or whatever. And then that's the opportunity for you to just instantly own it. That's all you got to do. Just instantly own it and just know that you're going to try to do better next time. Okay? And it's amazing. I mean, I have been seeing and I've been doing this practice for a couple years now since I realized it was like a little caveat, like a little trick that we could do to speed it up. And it has made such a difference. So I'm encouraging everybody to try this, experiment with it, okay? Because as you experiment with it, I'm telling you, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. First off, there's a big part where we get to own ourselves a little bit, and that's really important. The more we own our side of the street on things, the better off we're gonna be. We're gonna be so much better off because then you stop judging and you stop projecting and you stop blaming, you stop victimizing. Then you're like, I'm 100%. Like I own my crap. And if I own my crap, I'm good. So that's why I always tell everybody, I freak out and I drive like a jerk sometimes. And I I don't flip people off as much as I used to. I'm way better about that. And so, but I did for a long time, you know what I mean? With my ZenLife sticker on my car. See it meditation. So I've given that up. But there's still it still happens where I get so frustrated with others. And then I'm like, oh, I can let this go. Okay? All right. So tonight, let's go ahead and just kind of settle in to our posture. Who's never meditated in this room? Oh, okay. Well, no. Just in general. Who in this room, let me switch those words around. Who in this room has never meditated?
This room is very special.
Yeah, it is a special room. I feel like we're really plucky tonight. No, it's fine. It's fine, yeah. All right, everybody. So we're going to just go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Or if we lie down, this is exactly how we're supposed to be. If you're not comfortable in your skin, this is 100% good because they're not going to fall asleep. Their feet are on the floor and their knees are to the ceiling. And that's really important because otherwise we're just cashed out and we're taking a nap. Okay? All right. So just dialing in, eyes are nice and gently closed. And bringing attention to your breath. Feel those inhales and those exhales. Just kind of bringing awareness to the nose, feeling the inhale through the nose. You can feel that cold air as it comes in. And then the exhale is that warm air on the return. You can also bring awareness to the back of your throat as you're breathing. And then finally to the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly. If you haven't done so yet, bring your imaginary gaze point up to where you think your third eye is. And just being sure that your jaw is loose and your teeth are not touching. I like to have a little smile on my face. So tonight we clear up any karma that we may have so that we can be free, so that there's not an echo of things. We can think about maybe a situation, maybe when we were kids, you know? Sometimes when we're kids, we can tend to not be too nice. Maybe there was somebody that we made fun of, or did something hurtful, took a toy from somebody, I don't know, something. And just imagine that you can see that person and you just tell them, I'm so sorry. We don't need to make a big story about it. We can just leave it in that space. Okay. Maybe there was a sibling or a cousin, family member, same type of thing. Maybe we were hurtful, and maybe even they hurt us. That's okay. We can still let that karma go. And this isn't to go to a dark place. This is just the face of the person. And then it's very, very soft and subtle. I'm sorry. We can move into our teen years. I'm sure there's too many things. Teenagers are hard. But just like maybe just one one random thing, the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe we talked back to our parents, or we were cruel in something that we said. And the same, it's just a very simple I'm sorry. And then we can kind of move forward into some other situation. Could be a work associate, it could be a friend, something. If you've offended somebody, or even if you maybe gossiped about them. Just hold that space with them. Same thing, just a simple I'm so sorry. And then if there's, like a love relationship or a partner, something, I've said hurtful things that I wish I could take back sometimes. This is your opportunity for that just to be gone. Just sit with the image of that person. And a very simple, I'm so sorry. And if there's anybody else that you want to include in that, and we don't go crazy, we don't find hundreds of people, just one or two more. So be aware of what your vibration feels like. If it feels heavy, just imagine that that energy is going down into the earth and leaving the cells of your body. If it feels light and airy, just kind of hang on to that. And bringing your attention to the tip of your nose again. And you can start to bring movement into your body, but again, those eyes shall be the last thing to come back online. So one of the things that I love about like the 12-step programs is that you need to make an amends to people, and whether that's if you're in like AA or if you're in Al-Anon, they both have programs within they both have 12 steps. And when you have to get to the amends, it's really cool. It's like such a cool thing to go through and sit there and take an inventory, you know, and you go through this inventory and you like start to see the things that you weren't the coolest on things, and you really start to own your side of the street on that. And it is a way to clear karma. I have a girlfriend that she's older, and when I get to work on her, it's an absolute delight. And I keep telling her that her energy is the way that it is right now. And she had a life that was colorful, but she's done her steps and she's done them so many times that she literally, when I work on her, she has no karma to clear up anymore. And every time I tell her that, she's like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, I'm dead serious. Like, I wish I could be you. That's cool. And so, and it comes down to this process of like, we recognize when we are misstepping. Yeah. Nobody ever wants to hurt anybody. I really genuinely believe that. Even bad people don't necessarily want to hurt somebody. They're trying not to hurt themselves, okay? They're selfish, and that's what happens. And then in that, there's a wake of destruction that hurts other people, okay? So I want to be on the sunny side of the street on that, okay? So we have an opportunity to not be selfish and to not be self-centered and absorbed and all of those things, and own our misgivings so that when we are like in a state of presence, we don't have anything that we have to clear up, you know? Like, we don't have to worry about somebody like saying, I've heard you gossip about blah, blah, blah. No, you haven't. Because everything that I say right in front of that person. Like, no, you haven't, you know? Whatever it is. Like, be real. Be 100% real. And then call yourself out on your misgivings. And not in a self-loathing way. This isn't the whipping and the, you know what I mean? That's not what this is. It's like, clear it up. Don't hang on to it, clear it up, okay? That's how we move on in this life too. Because that's the other thing with this. If we sit there, so Chris's grandmother, you guys have heard me talk about her before, but I love that woman. She was so cool. And so she believed in an afterlife, like going to heaven and stuff. And so she actually didn't know if she would go to heaven because she was mean to somebody when she was a kid. And this woman like healed more people than you can even shake a stick at. She was like so just incredible. And she actually thought that in her 90s. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I was so mean to this girl when I was a kid. And I'm like, that's nuts. Like, if you're not making it, good luck for the rest of us. You know what I mean? And so, but do you see how when we hang on to negative thoughts like that, that can actually disrupt our flow and disrupt us from moving forward and doing the good in our life fully that we need to do. And she was a rock star, amazing. So that's why we make mistakes. We screw up. We are human, okay? We are driven by selfish desires because of survival. The survival of us makes us do that, okay? And there's more that goes into that. But we can just recognize when we're a douche and own it and move on, okay? It's the owning it. No projecting, no pointing. I love this little thing, you know, when I point my fingers at you, I got 3 more pointing back at me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's really that. Just let it go, okay? All right. I have these gorgeous calendars up there, and I hope everybody takes one home and colors it. We should have coloring contests now because they're so pretty. Okay, so we have really cool thing coming up. So 4th of July, we are open on the 4th of July because I usually only close at night on 4th of July. 4th of July is on a Saturday. We're not open Saturday night, so there are classes on 4th of July. Then if anybody knows anybody that does asana, and specifically wants to know more about Ashtanga, Kelly is our Ashtanga master, and she is offering an Ashtanga pop-up every 3 weeks for the next 2 months. Ashtanga is my favorite practice because I can be very type A, and it is like, if you're type A and you geek out on stuff like that, man, do everything you can to come to that class. She will teach you how to do these things. And they're pretty difficult poses, but the class is like an hour and a half long, and there's a reason for that. The calendar says 11:45, it's actually 12 o'clock. I'm not reprinting these, so because they're just too pretty. So you just have to remember it's 12 o'clock if you go to sign up online. So it's on Monday the 6th and Monday the 27th. Then we have kids yoga on the 11th. Do we have any more spots for the improv class?
Just filled all up.
Okay. Do we have a wait list or no?
We'll take one because Scott said that he'll do another one in a month or two if he gets enough people.
Oh, okay. Okay, so if you are wanting to be a part of that improv class that he's having, then we'll go ahead and we'll generate a list so that when we have it, then you guys get first pick on that, and then you can get registered for it. You don't need to pay for it in advance. You can just hold, and then we'll steal your money afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to take anything. Okay.
Talk to me afterward if you want me to write your name down. I'll give it to him.
Yeah. Okay, then hiking club on the 18th. Last month we were going to go up north and we didn't have an opportunity to do that. There were too many things that came up in the way. So we're going to go up there this month.
Actually, I think because I realized that people have already signed up for the Salt River trip, and when we printed the calendars, we put it on the Salt River.
Oh, cotton picking.
So,
sorry.
We're
Okay.
going to the Salt
Go. I guess we're going to the Salt River. That's all right. That's Missy's favorite place. So it'll be nice. Yeah.
Hopefully, the water levels will be high enough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And are they?
Yeah, they were like flowing 1,100 this last week, so they're 879 right now. I looked right before I came in.
You two are so funny. Okay. So hopefully you guys will come and you can help us with crowd control. Anyway, so you have to have your own paddle board or you have to have your own kayak. There's like no renty on that one. Okay. And then, this is one of my favorite classes. It's one of my favorite classes. It's the neurographic art classes that are offered by Maria. They are so cool. And this one is about removing limiting beliefs. The reason why we offer those is because we are a healing center and everything is about healing. And those classes, I just sit there, I get lost in those drawings and in the artwork of it. And my stuff looks like garbage. I don't even care. Like, it's like there's something about this freedom in that. So that's a really, really cool class. That's on the 12th. So, all right, that's it. Make sure you get a calendar. And then I will see you guys all next week. Thank you. Bye.